Over the next few minutes, I'm going to be talking about safe work at height and ladder rescue. And you'll see here in the image there's both ladders. I've got them set up using a rope grab system. And I'll talk you through the rescue process as well, step by step. And I'm using the Petzl JAG rescue kit for that. And the idea here is just to show you how the system works in practice and how we carry out a controlled rescue safely if someone gets into difficulty while they're working at height. There's something then very important that we need to think about when we're using fall arrest equipment, and that's what do we do like if someone needs to be rescued. Like, it's all good and well having the equipment there that arrests someone's fall, but if they're left suspended in a harness, well, you run the risk there of suspension trauma. So we need to think about how to get them down. And that's why it's so important that we've got a rescue plan in place before work starts in the first place at all. And it's not just having a plan written down either. We need to make sure that they've got the correct rescue equipment and the right people trained and they're competent to use it. Secured to the building. So I'm using the Petzl core 12mm removable anchor. Really good bit of kit. And then they're attached onto the ladder here and then ratcheted to add a little bit of tension onto them. But we'll be able to see now in a second. I'm going to try and dislodge this ladder. Might want to be brutal. So if we grab a hold of the ladder and we try to pull it, that ladder is going absolutely nowhere. It's safe and secure. So it's a really good way of managing work at height. Our microlight ladder stand up the top there. Really good bit of kit. It increases the stability of the ladder. Also great like if you're working on a building, so you're not resting the ladder against gutters and things like that, because you're stepped out from it. We've got the Bigfoot ladder stopper here as well. Increases the surface area. Even on its own, it's really good. It helps reduce the risk of the actual base of the ladder kicking out. We've also got the Laddermate ladder stabilizer over here. So this is another bit of kit here. Really good as well. It adds more stability to the ladder to reduce the chance of the actual base of the ladder kicking out the ladder quite easily. And if someone were to fall, it engages and stops them falling any further. In addition to that, it's a good idea to have a secondary control measure in place. And this is just your ladder restraint lanyard. So you're going to be clipped onto this like so. See it's on there. You're going to clip this a little bit further up. So you've got a secondary control measure in place then at that stage. As I mentioned there earlier, I'm using the Petzl JAG rescue system. I like the system. It's got a 4-to-1 pulley arrangement, and that just gives mechanical advantage, making it a lot easier to take the casualty's weight. So here I'm connecting the rescue system to the casualty's dorsal D-ring, and then I can use the 4-to-1 pulley system to raise them slightly and take the load off their existing fall arrest equipment. So then once the load's been taken by the pulley system, I can then safely disengage the equipment connected to their sternal attachment point. So the likes of their rope grab and their ladder lanyard that's in place, so that I can carry out the rescue in a controlled manner using the Petzl ID descender. Here you can see I'm using the Petzl ID EVAC descender device to control the descent and lower the casualty safely back to the ground. You can control the speed of the descent very easily with this device, and it's a very good bit of kit in my opinion. Once we've finally got the casualty safely back down, that's not the end of the rescue. There's potentially being suspended in a harness, so we need to think about suspension trauma. So they should receive appropriate first aid and medical assessment, and we need to keep monitoring them rather than just simply getting them out of the harness and like assuming that everything's going to be fine. So when you're planning work at height, we shouldn't just be asking how do we stop someone falling. No, that's not it. We should be asking if something goes wrong, how are we going to rescue them safely? So plan it properly, because if something does go wrong, being prepared, I'll tell you, it's going to make all the difference in the world.
So remember, it's very important, as I always say, think first and not after.